Welcome back to the Maker Show. My name is Jeff Kripke, and I had to move my office and need to get a little better backdrop than this one, but for now it'll work. I just wanted to let you know, guys, that I ended up getting a metal lathe today, and it's a Fox M10. It's a 6x10 lathe, so it's pretty small, but if if you've ever lived in Alaska or Hawaii or any of those outlying territories and stuff like that, they just basically won't ship you anything. Even though we're connected to the mainland, they got to go through Canada to drive it up here, and that just is expensive. Or you can take it to a reshipper, and they charge you probably about, checked into it, it's about $1.25 a pound, and you're figuring a big lathe is about 2,500 pounds. And so yeah, it's a big expense to get one in. This one, the lathe itself was only 50 pounds plus the packing and stuff made it about 78. So apparently FedEx was okay to ship that. So I got that today, and I got it set up in the shop, and I'm going to show you some video right now of me doing an uncrating, I guess you'd call it, not an unboxing, because it was actually in a wooden crate. So I hope you enjoy. So this is the crate that the lathe came in. It was pretty heavy. It wasn't a two-man lift. I don't know. I'm pretty big. I can lift it by myself. So I got the straps removed, and obviously they're really sharp. They're metal. So got those carefully removed and thrown into the garbage. Then we're going to go ahead and take the top off here. I like it. It's about probably 1/4 inch plywood, whatever that is in metric, few millimeters, 4 or 5 millimeters. It arrived without damage, so that was good, and it shipped really fast. It's really got it quickly. So it was an Amazon buy. About $618 or so is what I paid for it, or that was what the lathe cost, and I think they charged me $27 or something to ship it, which is a bargain to Alaska, like I explained in the first part of the video. This is our first look at it. It's got a little bit of plastic over it. There is a bunged up place on the paint job. It looks like the part of the motor cover is made out of plastic, and the paint peeled off. It's got a little safety door over it. It's got a safety switch on that door, so it won't turn on if that's not down, which is good, because you don't want the chuck key in there, and the chuck. It's a self-ejecting chuck, but spring wasn't really strong enough to self-eject it. You'll see that in a second. Now, before I got it any more far apart than it was at this point, I was going to go ahead and plug it in and test the functionality, because a couple of the reviews online said it came and it didn't work at all right out of the box. So I wanted to eliminate that possibility. So it's got a speed control right there, and that's the forward reverse. So that's going to be the a speed control there. It's 100 to 2,000 RPM adjustable. And when you lift the cover, obviously it stops. There is an e-stop on there as well, small e-stop. So press that. If something's going wrong, it'll instantly stop it, or just turn it to the middle position. There's a two direction step motor control, one for forward, one for reverse, and then the speed control. obviously safety switch there, and that's the paint that's rubbed off on that cover. The little box has some accessories in it, some a dead center tailstock. So basically no bearing, not live, so no bearing. They put right in the instructions that you want to be sure to keep that oiled if you're trying to hold a workpiece, because you know it's metal against metal. So maybe a little grease or something to help that be lubricated. These are extra jaws for the 3-jaw chuck, and they're for holding larger work pieces, is what it said in the instructions. It's got an M1 taper on the tailstock. As you can see, this is I'm tightening up the chuck there, and if you notice that no self-ejecting chuck, so that's a fail. You know, there is a spring on it to make it self-ejecting, but they must have not put a strong enough spring on that. In the accessory bag was also the handles for the turn wheels, obviously just plastic with you know, the handle of the hand wheels. It's basically just a round piece of tubing over a screw. So I mean, it's not high technology, and that was like the world's worst oil bottle. I don't know. I probably won't even fill it with oil. It doesn't even want to stay upright, so I'll find a little oil can or something to oil it with. The spindle is an M2 taper. If you were to put a new like faceplate on it, as well as you know, like a 4-jaw chuck, and you wanted to just put a Morris number 2 Morris taper on there and just slide it in. Some back plates I'm sure are made for an MT taper number 2. The tailstock does have the hand wheel on the back for drilling holes. I have actually a drill truck on the way to do some hole drilling, as well as some center drills and stuff like that. A little bit later, I do actually find some lathe tooling amazing. I had some. I thought I'd kept it and moved it up here, and I did end up finding the lathe tooling, so that was awesome. Now I'm checking for some backlash on that. It seems like it's, you know, pretty minimal at this point. It did say that there was a backlash adjustment. Here I'm looking at the hand wheel or the indicator wheel on the carriage, and it's really weird because it goes from like 0 to 30, and then it has a space in between the 30 and the 0. I'm not sure if it's like really 31 or not. So go ahead and turn it on, and I'm checking how fast it changes direction here. Obviously we're not going to max speed or anything. Take a little while to slow it down. I wouldn't engage it into its other direction if it was not fully stopped. The other thing is the automatic feed on the carriage. You have to rotate the hand wheel at the end right below the tailstock in order to engage those back gears. It does have back gears that were installed. I popped the cover open just to take a look because it didn't seem like it was engaging, so I read the instructions. Now it did seem to be missing a Allen wrench. It was supposed to come with 4 Allen wrenches. I apparently only got 3. I don't know if one dropped on the ground or went missing in another way, but after I ended up reading the manual, I noticed that it was supposed to come with that kind of intermediate size down from the biggest one. Not a huge deal. This is it's an MT2 dead center. So here I'm going to go ahead and take it off the final board. Should have probably been holding that up, but no biggie. I'm going to go ahead and remove this one, and then I'm going to go ahead and tip that lathe up. And it'll finally be rested on the bench. So that's the lathe. I'm going to go ahead and maybe increase the thickness of this bench to make it a little more sturdy. I'll probably definitely connect it to the wall so it's not jiggling and stuff. So I want to make it. Okay, so I went out and I ended up having a lathe bit in my toolbox that I must have bought 15, maybe 20 years ago, maybe a little more recently, but for a long time I've had those lathe bits around, and this is just demonstrating the first cut. This is a piece of brass pipe that I was using to build the CNC mill, or the CNC lathe router table 3D printer. So this is my first test cut. I'm going to go ahead and speed this up so you can see how the finish is, and I hope you enjoy, and please rate, comment, and subscribe, and have a happy new year. And I'm going to be doing some lathe work in the future. 2017 is the year of the lathe, so expect to see a lot more projects on this in the future, as well as turning this into a CNC project by adding some stepper motors probably to that cross slide into that carriage feed. So look forward to that, figuring out the speed controls and size of stepper motors you need for a small lathe like this, controlling the speed externally through the program, whether I can get more increase of speed out of, right now it only goes to 2,000 RPM, so there's a lot of possibilities on upgrading this lathe and making it into a more capable tool, capable of doing more things than it's meant stock right out of the box. And since this is one of the lathes that actually ships to places like this, I might possibly be offering kits once I figure out how to do a conversion on one of these small shop Fox lathes, and it is well, I hope you enjoyed that uncrating and the first test cuts on the new Shop Fox lathe, and I hope you come back and watch a lot more machining videos. I'm also bought parts to build a larger CNC mill with linear bearings and guide rails and ball screws and works. It should be pretty accurate, and get my hands dirty on building something that's more precision than the CNC router table that I'm currently building. So hope you stick around and see that. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.